at the end of this webinar. So thank you for joining us. And also want to remind you at the end there's a very quick 2-question survey. Please take a moment to fill out your survey and give us your feedback. So welcome, 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 Kathy, one of my favorite people in the universe because you're always happy and smiling.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I loved convention, and it is so fun seeing the names here of people in the webinar. Hi, everybody. Great to see you again. So what we are talking about today, the topic is hashtags, and this is such an important topic because it's a big part of social media, but I know there's a lot of you out there who, like, at convention we were talking about hashtags, and people are like, oh, I don't want to do hashtags. I don't understand it. Well, I'm going to guide you along in the next 30 minutes. We have a lot of information to cover, but I want you to think of hashtag happiness and befriending the hashtag to help with all of your social media efforts, because this is what will give all of your posting a boost if you can get used to using hashtags. So can everybody hear me okay? It's hard to tell with the chat. I don't see anyone chatting yet, so I'm just going to move on forward. Okay, so quickly I'm going to give you a background of, let's see, go to next slide. There we go. Okay, so where did this whole hashtag thing come from? Okay, so Twitter started in 2007. Oh, good, you can hear me, thanks. And what happened during that time was people would start searching for keywords, but they couldn't find keywords that were grouped into the context that they wanted. So this guy right here, Chris Messina, this is how hashtag started, this tweet right here. He suggested the idea of using the pound sign just like they did on message boards, in community online message boards. And what happened was people picked up on that and people started doing it. And finally, in 2009, Twitter made those hashtags clickable. And from there, it just started a whole new movement of, Facebook and Pinterest started using them. Pinterest doesn't use them now, but at the beginning they did, and all of these other ones started using the hashtags. So that's where the hashtag came from. And let's see, we go to this next slide. So now to understand exactly what it is. So a hashtag, we all know it as the pound sign or the number sign, but in this new social media world, it's called the hashtag, and it should be your new best friend when it comes to posting content. Its sole role is to categorize topics. So every time that you see that hashtag symbol with a word behind it, think of it like a file folder or an inbox. And what it does is everything with that hashtag goes into that file folder or that list. So, for example, if you look up hashtag chocolate, it could be someone who was drinking hot chocolate, someone who was baking chocolate brownies, someone who painted their wall chocolate. If they use the hashtag chocolate, all of those posts will show up in that list of hashtag chocolate. So it's just a fun way to really group your content, and it's an easy way to have it be found. So it's also important to know, even if another way to wrap your head around it is it's so big in pop culture these days. It's part of everyday life. You can see over here there's a Halloween costume of a hashtag. Jimmy Fallon, you can see every single YouTube video, he has a hashtag in his headline for it. Even ceramic projects, people love to do hashtag mom life or hashtag nurse life, whatever it is, they can do a hashtag. And here you have people who are making T-shirts, hashtag wifey, hashtag tired. So it just kind of gives you a sense of this is just common language now within our culture that people are talking about. And it's good for you to know it so you can incorporate it into your business and your lifestyle. Pam, is that better? Pam says the sound is really low that she can't hear. So I'm going to try to speak a little bit louder. Okay, so now that we know it's part of the culture and we know what it is, you have to know that it's one of the main staples on social media. It's on almost every social media platform. And why is that? Because social media platforms they're geared toward the users. Users love hashtags because they can drill down to see exactly what they want, and they can also use hashtags to discover new interests, new ideas, and new places. So, for example, I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona, and say I'm teaching a workshop on mugs. I can do hashtag workshop Phoenix, and that way people in Phoenix who say, you know what, I want to take a workshop. Let me see what's going on. If they can do they can type in hashtag workshop Phoenix either in Instagram or on Facebook or on Twitter, and then my thing will show up in that feed. So it's just important to know that if you're already using social media now, this is like the next level of getting it out there is incorporating this hashtag. So you can see here on this picture, on the left-hand side is the Twitter feed. Now, Twitter, on the left-hand side, they always have trending topics, and those are all hashtag topics. Anytime you go to Twitter, you'll see those, and you can change that to someone's saying they can hear it perfectly. Okay, good. I'll check recording, make sure you can hear the audio. Okay, so they're going to check the recording for us to make sure everyone can hear it afterwards. Great. So whenever you go to Twitter, this is a great way to see what's going on around you, either in the world or in our country or in your own city. You can change that Twitter trending feed to your local city, or you can change it to the country or the world. And it's a good way to look and see what hashtags are trending in your area. And we'll get into this later where you can use some of those hashtags. Now, on the other side, right here on the right, that's from an Instagram feed. And I pulled up hashtag PYOP, a term we're very familiar with. You can see there's almost 13,000 posts with that hashtag. This means that it's either studio owners or people who visit Paint Your Own Pottery studios, and they're sharing what they made and what is going on. So look at that feed of 12,000. That is an active hashtag. That is a great reason why you should use a hashtag PYOP to get in on that scene that's going on so that your content will be fed into that. And it's just as simple as typing the pound sign and then PYOP. Okay, so here are a couple other examples. Now, the ones that actively use hashtags Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, Tumblr, YouTube, and Vine. Pinterest, not anymore. Pinterest changed all of their algorithms and search fields and everything, so it's not a big part of Pinterest anymore. But you can see over here on the left, this is from Facebook using the hashtag CCSA2015, and it was so fun to come home from the convention, click on that, hashtag CCSA2015, and see everybody's pictures and their adventures because they all use that hashtag. They all show up in one stream, and you can see all of them. Now, on the right side here, this is a girl that's very popular on Twitter and Periscope, and she travels all over the world, and she has a hashtag called Liza on the Go. So you click on that, and you can see all the different places where she's going. She's going to Dubai pretty soon, so that's a new hashtag she started for that. So you can see how you can use these different ones to categorize for different reasons. Okay, so now how do people find hashtags? Say you put a hashtag out there, how do people find them and use them? Okay, so a lot of people will utilize the search feature, and that is either in Twitter or Instagram. They just go to the search bar, hashtag chocolate, and then they see what comes up. Another way is that people will be looking through, say, Instagram, scrolling through, and they see maybe a hashtag called glittered ceramics. And they're like, ooh, glittered ceramics? What's that? I'm going to click on that. So say they click on it, and then the world of glittered ceramics opens up to them because they see all of these other pictures that people posted using that hashtag. So they can see a hashtag and get curious and click on it. So that's another way. And another way is through ad campaigns. If you look at any TV ads, TV shows, they always have a hashtag in the corner somewhere on there because they want you to look at that hashtag to follow along with what they're doing. And what this means, instead of saying, oh, follow me on Twitter or follow me here, you can just say, you know what, here's my hashtag, and go to any platform and you can follow the feed along with it. So we just see it all the time in print ads, TV shows. So people will go and type that in after they see it there. And then the next one is through word of mouth and trending topics. So this is through your friends, maybe in your studio, where they say, oh, you know what, make sure to do, hashtag PYOP Phoenix, and you get a discount. Really? I didn't know that. Yeah, this studio uses a hashtag, people talking to each other. Or, again, the trending topics. You say, at the VMAs the other night, the big thing with Nicki Minaj and Miley Cyrus, you could do, hashtag Nicki feud, and then you would see all of that come up. And sometimes it's just entertaining to see what people are writing about, things that they're saying. How does this relate to you? Well, you should pay attention to those trending topics because maybe there's something that you can do in your studio that will relate to it, or, some kind of discount or something like that. Okay, so now how can you use hashtags in your social media and how they can help your studio? Now, this is why you should incorporate them. Number one, it encourages people and your customers to engage with you. It encourages them to share your information. And that's a good thing because you want people to have the experience of painting within your studio. But if you can also get them to share that on social media and say they're proud of the coffee mug that they made, they can do, hashtag mug or, whatever you tell them to post as a hashtag so that your studio gets into that feed. Number two, it can also bring new customers. The more hashtags you use, the more you're in those so-called virtual file folders where people can find you, especially local people. Make sure to use your local tag, and we will get to that later on in the presentation. Number three, just think about it. Your business will go into that virtual list for that topic. I mean, you're already doing social media. Why not give it a boost by doing this one extra little thing? Next, you can make specific branding to your business. If you have a special promotion that you're doing or a special event or time of year, you can create a hashtag for that. And the last one is my favorite. You can start your own trend or your own movement using a creative hashtag. Okay, so now how do we do this? First of all, there's a little graphic right there that shows, it's kind of hard to read here, but it shows how much engagement there is using a hashtag. Like, for example, on Twitter, tweets with hashtags receive 2 times more engagement than those without hashtags. And then it says only 24% of measured tweets contained hashtags. So even though this is working, a lot of people still don't use them. They don't realize the value of it. Now, tweets with 1 or 2 hashtags have a 21% higher engagement than those with 3 or more. And we're going to get to that. It's better, you want less is more when it comes to hashtags. 17%. Tweets that use more than 2 hashtags actually show a 17% drop in engagement. That means people, they love hashtags, but you don't want to overwhelm them. So once it comes to, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this hashtag thing. I want some hashtag happiness. What you're going to do is nail down 1 to 2 hashtags that pertain to your business. So here's an interesting example. For Duncan Ceramics, we thought of this great hashtag called #IHeartDuncan. So we are always promoting #IHeartDuncan for people to use that hashtag so that I can find their pictures and then share them. So I'm looking for these pictures, and then my coworker, she sends me all of these new pictures, and she goes, "Oh, I found these pictures for you, Kathy." And I'm like, "How the heck did you find those pictures?" And she goes, "Oh, I just looked up #Duncan Ceramics." And I was like, duh, why didn't I think of that? So it could be a hashtag that people are using on their own, just common sense, #Duncan Ceramics. People, we didn't tell them what to do, and they came up with their own hashtag. Everyone had it in common. So now that's another one that we use and utilize. I had to take a drink of water there. So be aware of those. You can create one that is cute, that relates to your business, or if you want, you can just make it the name of your business. That is totally up to you. You can play around with them and see which ones get more engagement. It's not one of those things where you're getting a plaque engraved in 14-karat gold. No, you can. If one works, then you can go with it. If it doesn't work, you can try a different one and see how it works. So once you nail down those different hashtags, then you want to promote them. So in your store, you want to have a sign to let people know to use that hashtag along with your social media handles. You want to incorporate it on printed materials in every social media post that you have. And you can also offer drawings for prizes or offer discounts if people use your hashtag. Okay, now how to use them. So we know that at the end of every post, so say, for example, you're posting on Instagram or Facebook, and you put your information, oh, new class schedule is posted, then you want to put a hashtag after that sentence. So the # and then ceramic workshop or whatever ones you choose to put after it. Now, here's some examples. You could use it for an event. So example again, CCSA 2015 or Ceramic Jam, your city or area, holidays, and a good way for holidays and also materials and trending topics, already go in and do a search on hashtags for Halloween. Now, I looked up Halloween ceramics, and I didn't find anything, but Halloween DIY was a very popular hashtag list. So that would be a good one to know to put that on there. Also, say you're showing a pumpkin class. You could put #pumpkin, #orange, #glitter. You could choose which ones work. Also, trending topics. Minions was a big thing this summer with the movie coming out. So anytime you have a post related to Minions, you would put #Minion or #MinionCraft. Again, do some research to see which ones are trending that you can use. I would say what I do for my business is I don't always go for the one that is the biggest. I don't always go for the one that is the smallest, but somewhere in between, because what happens if you pick a hashtag that is too big, then your content can get lost in it. So you want to find that happy medium. So this is another favorite one. You can start a hashtag for your own industry. So say, for example, all the studio owners of CCSA say, hey, let's start a hashtag called Kiln Reveal, where people open their kilns to show what's inside, or Kiln Friday, #Mug of the Month. So you can use it also in your industry to join together so everyone across the land will show this one thing that they have in common. And that can be something really fun as a movement for people to follow along with these Paint on Pottery studios to see like, oh, what's the Mug of the Month, or what's the Kiln Reveal? Something like that is a fun way to unite everybody. Okay, so now the do's and don'ts of things. Now, you want to only post 2 to 3 hashtags in the caption area. If you post more, people get really annoyed. If you feel like there's more you want to post, you can post those as the first comment. That way it's not in the description, but it's in the comment area below. Okay, next, you always, 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 you want to check the hashtag before you use it. You want to enter it in the search and see what comes up, because I've heard horror stories of people who have picked a hashtag and then they start using it, and the next thing you know, their pictures are mixed into a feed of some other pictures they don't want to be associated with. So make sure you always search the hashtag before you use it. Another tip, what I like to do is capitalize the first letter in each word. That way people can distinguish what the words are, because if you don't do that, I saw a funny one. Well, it's not funny, but it said something about is Margaret or Thatcher is dead, and then people read it as Cher is dead or something like it's like a license plate, the way you read a license plate. So I always cap the first letter in each word so that it's easy to read. It relays just in a second. And you want to try to keep your hashtag short and easy to read, because you don't want to take away from your description in your caption, especially when there's limited characters. And you want to make sure to look at those trending topics on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook so that you can see, what's going on, what people are using. Maybe, if the Minion movie is the number one movie, then I'm going to hashtag Minions. Maybe if there's a movie star with their favorite coffee drink, you can, have a coffee project that fits with that and use that hashtag. Okay, so now here is what to avoid. Okay, number one, you want to check the trends, topics, news of the day, but I kind of bulleted this a little bit wrong. You want to make sure that your context matches the trends in the hashtag. Don't just put on a popular trend or topic hashtag because you want to get in that feed. That is misleading your followers. So you always want to make sure that it has a good context and it's not just, trying to lure people over. So, yes, you do want to check the trends, topics, news of the day, and you want to relate that, but you don't want to just attach a popular hashtag just because. You want to make sure you truly, authentically have content that matches that hashtag. Next, you don't want to go overboard because it gets annoying. People will unfollow you. And, again, just think with purpose and what you want to relay with your hashtag. And lastly, don't hijack someone else's brand hashtag. So my daughter, she actually had this happen to her. She has a hashtag Maya in the Moment for her blog. And then this mom with a little baby named Maya started using it to share pictures of her daughter on my daughter's hashtag. So you cannot trademark a hashtag. It's for everybody to use. But this mom was using my daughter's followers to try to get attention for her daughter. And it just looked really weird because my daughter is like 22, and she's like, oh, we're going to this nightclub. Here's a new cocktail. And then there's a little toddler in the next picture. So you want to make sure that you don't just, again, jump on someone's hashtag just because you want to gain their followers. Like, really think ethically about it. So we have 6 minutes left. I went through these really fast. So I'm ready to take questions. If anyone has any thoughts, or do you feel more comfortable with hashtags? Are you excited about hashtags?
That's it. Thank you. Great job. Lots of great information. We do have a few questions starting to come in. So hashtags aren't upper, lowercase specific.
No, you can use either all uppercase or all lowercase. I always, if it's more than one word, I always cap the first letter in each word. For example, hashtag Duncan Ceramics. I'll do capital D for Duncan and capital C for ceramics. I just like to do that because my thinking is you want it to be easiest for the end user. You want for those followers to be able to just look at it and know exactly what you're talking about. You don't want them to go, what? What is that? What does that word mean? Again, it's like reading a license plate. You want to make it as easy as you can. Okay, so Amy says, if a search yields thousands of results, how does that help users? Well, there's different ways to do it. For Instagram, it depends. Again, going back to choosing a super popular hashtag where there's thousands of results, or using a mid-level one maybe where there's hundreds or just dozens. The place where it will really come handy for you is for your city, especially for local people, local media looking for something to do. They will go through and scroll and see until something catches their attention. Now, if it's for Instagram, they post on the search field according to date. So you have to know that when you post a picture on Instagram with the hashtag, it will go up immediately, but as more people post on that hashtag, then yours gets moved down. So you want to make sure that it's a good picture, a good description, everything in there, because it's a smaller window of opportunity. If someone looks up your hashtag typing all lowercase, yes, it will be found. Whether if it's lowercase or uppercase, it will be found. That's a great question, Nancy. Yes. Chairperson Tudina, I see you. So I hope that helps. So this question that Amy was saying, and just like with any social media, there's always thousands of results with everything. But if you can get people used to your own hashtag to where they can follow along with what you're doing, then that really helps. Like, for example, every time I go to New York City, I use the hashtag CraftyChicaNYC. So people can click on that hashtag, and for the past 4 years, they can see all the places, my favorite places in New York City. So say you do, whatever the name of your studio is, like hashtag Duncan Ceramics Christmas. Then they can click on it and see all of your Christmas ideas from, this past year. You can even go into previous posts and add a hashtag in the comments. It won't show up in the search field on Instagram because it will be buried, but if people click on that on one of your pictures, all of your other pictures will show up. So it's really a handy tool. Where do you look up hashtag to see if it has been used? You can go to any search field. If it's on Instagram, just do, I look up hashtag CraftyChica because I want to make sure that I own that hashtag, that when people look up hashtag CraftyChica, they're going to know that they're my pictures, because there's a lot of people out there who use CraftyChica for their own things, and so I make sure to use that so people know, like, yes, that is my brand. So I just go to the search field and look up hashtag CraftyChica. On Twitter, you can look up in the search field hashtag, whatever it is. How do I establish a hashtag as my own? Well, you choose one and you just start using it. And I would play around with a couple of them that see which ones catch on, that, if there's a clever one, and you just start using it. And the more you use it, the more it becomes established, because the more it's connected to your business name and to your business. These are great questions. I can see that you guys are understanding how this works. And, I mean, it's a lot. You're thinking, oh, it's one more thing to do. But you know what? This is all free publicity for you. So why not use it and give some legs to your social media posts? It's just another way for people to find you and to get the word out for your business. Okay, hashtags on Facebook. Yes, they do matter, because it's not as prominent as it is on Instagram or Twitter, but they're still on Facebook. People still use them. So any platform that has clickable hashtags, it matters, because people are clicking on that and they're going to look at the feed. And, I mean, why not go ahead and add it? I mean, it's there, it's clickable, use that. I mean, say it's a mom who's going to have a birthday party, and it could be a matter of one click or not that she could get sold on your studio to go have her party at. So, I always make sure to, anywhere where you know it's a clickable link, make sure to use it.
All right. I don't know if you answered, where do you look up hashtags to see if it's been used? Would that just be a Google search?
Yes, you can look up anywhere. You can look up Google. You can look up on Twitter or Instagram, Facebook. You just simply type it in the search bar, and then if someone has used it, it will come up. And once you really get into hashtags, there's a service called hashtracking.com. So if you're using it for a campaign and want to measure the feedback of how many impressions that hashtag got, you can use that service, and it's hashtracking.com. It's a whole science. Like, people use these on different campaigns all the time to get all of that content united. For example, if it's a blog campaign for a certain company and they have a hashtag for it, you click on that and you can see all the different bloggers' versions of what they made with that, using that hashtag. So it really unites a topic. It's like one big file folder, virtual file folder.
All right. Well, if we don't have any more questions here, we're going to wrap up here. So last chance to pop in your questions there. And if you don't get a question in here, you can always post it on our Facebook chat site, CCSA Chatter, and tag Kathy on there, and she will be able to see that and answer it. And
I'll be glad to answer more questions. And thank you to you guys. I'm so happy that you understand hashtag happiness, because it is so fun once you get going. And definitely, if you have any other questions, post them on the chatter board. Make sure to follow us at Duncan_Ceramics on Instagram and at Duncan Ceramics everywhere else. I'm at Crafty Chica. And I love all you guys. I hope you have an awesome fall season with your businesses.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Kathy, and thanks to Duncan for allowing us to pick your brain and use it for our members. And thank you guys very much for attending today. And I will send the meeting recording out later this afternoon so you can listen again, and also share with your studio employees. And I will have the presentation and everything on our website as well. So thank you guys. Have a great week. And thanks again, Kathy, and we'll see you all soon.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.